Good morning to all. This is Dr. S. Harnath Babu, Assistant Professor of Physics, Annamacharya Institute of Technology and Sciences, Rajampet. Today I discuss the nanomaterials. So, different type of materials. Already you know that the glass materials, ceramic materials, metals, insulators, semiconductors. Already you know the different type of materials. So these materials has different type of physical properties like optical properties, electrical properties, semiconductor properties, dielectric properties, etc. So based on these properties, we are choosing the materials for manufacturing the different devices. So here the technology is changing. Macro technology, micro technology, nanotechnology. Now we are using the nanotechnology. The materials whose dimensions are reduced to nanoscale range are called nanomaterials. So if any material has a dimension 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer range, then that materials are called nanomaterials. These nanomaterials are classified into three types: one-dimensional nanomaterials, two-dimensional nanomaterials, three-dimensional nanomaterials. If the one dimension of material is in nanoscale range, then that materials are called one-dimensional nanomaterials. Examples are thin films, surface coatings, etc. If two dimensions of the materials are in nanoscale range, then that materials are called two-dimensional nanomaterials. For example, nanowires, nanorods, etc. If three dimensions of the materials are in nanoscale range, then that materials are called three-dimensional nanomaterials. Examples are precipitates, nanoparticles, quantum dots, etc. Now we discuss the nanoscale. So here different type of objects, different type of insects are given, whose size is also given. Based on this size, we can compare the nanoscale range. So already you know that nano means nanometer is equal to 10 power minus 9 meter. If any material is in the nanoscale range, that is from 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer, then that materials are called nanomaterials. So here we can compare the size of different type of objects and insects. So here we have that dust mite has size 200 millimeter and has size 5 millimeter. Like that, different device has different size. A small flea has 10 power minus 3 meter size. Human hair has size 10 power minus 4 meter. Red blood cell has size 10 power minus 5 meter. Bacteria has size 10 power minus 6 meter. Virus has size 10 power minus 7 meter size. DNA, so this DNA has size 10 power minus 8 meter. Molecular structure has size 10 power minus 9 meter, that is nanometer. Next, nano abacus has size 10 power minus 10 meter. So like that, different type of materials, you can compare their grain size or dimensions. Next question, principles of nanomaterials. So nanomaterials has two different principles. One is surface area to volume ratio. Second one is quantum confinement effect. First we discuss the surface area to volume ratio. Here we consider a sphere of radius r. We can write the equation for surface area of the sphere, that is equal to 4 pi r square. Again we can write volume of the sphere is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Here we can calculate the surface area to volume ratio. Then that value is equal to 4 pi r square divided by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Then you get 3 by r. So where the the surface area to volume ratio is inversely proportional to radius of the sphere. So the surface area to volume ratio is inversely proportional to dimension of the material. So here by decreasing the dimension, then surface area to volume ratio increases. Here, for example, we are using one cube shape of block we are using, and we are cutting the cube in different parts along x, y and z directions. So let us consider figure 1. So this figure 1 is one cube of material. This material has length 1 meter, breadth 1 meter, thickness 1 meter. So this cube has 6 faces. So each face has 1 meter square area. So total surface area of the cube is 6 meter square. In second figure, the same cube, size of cube is taken, but this cube is cut into half parts along x direction, y direction and z direction. Then the surface area will be increased. The size of each box is reduced. Then surface area to volume ratio increases. So surface area is 12 meter square. Again, the same size of block or cube is cut in 3 equal parts along x direction, y direction, z direction. Then the box's size is again reduced. Then surface area is again increased. The surface area becomes 18 meter square. So volume is same type of cube, same volume of cube is taken, and that is cut in different number of parts. So by decreasing the size of small box or size, then the surface area to volume ratio increases. By increasing the surface area to volume ratio, the physical properties of the same material are changed. Next, second one, quantum confinement effect. So already we know that if you consider isolated atoms, these atoms has discrete energy levels. If we combine n number of atoms together to form a solid, then each energy level splits into n number of small energy levels, and energy bands are formed. So closely spaced energy levels is called energy band. So if we decrease the dimension of the material into nanoscale range, then the energy levels are changed. So that is intermediate stage. For atom, there is discrete energy levels. For solid, there is energy bands. So for nanomaterials, the energy levels are intermediate level. The narrowing of energy levels from bulk to dot is called quantum confinement. So the changing of energy levels by decreasing the grain size of the material into nanoscale range is called quantum confinement effect. This can change the optical, electrical and magnetic behavior of the nanomaterials. So different physical properties are changed by decreasing the grain size into nanoscale range. If d is the diameter of the grain size, then the energy goes up by factor 1 by d square. By decreasing the grain size, energy is increased by the factor 1 by d square. So we can derive this. From uncertainty principle, the product of error in finding the position and error in finding the momentum is equal to h by 4 pi. Uncertainty in position, delta x is equal to d, where we can calculate uncertainty or error in finding the momentum, delta p is equal to h by 4 pi d, where we substitute the delta x value, d value in above equation. Then by taking cross multiplication, we get delta p is equal to h by 4 pi d. Then energy in terms of grain size of the particle, E is equal to, already you know the formula, capital E is equal to momentum square by 2m. By substituting the momentum value, error in finding momentum value, then you get energy, capital E is equal to h square by 32 pi square m d square. So h is constant, Planck's constant, 32 constant, pi is constant, mass of object is constant. So energy is inversely proportional to d square. The energy increases by a factor 1 by d square. Next we discuss the physical properties. Here, nanomaterials may have a significantly lowering melting point or phase transition temperature and appreciably reduced lattice constants due to a huge fraction of surface atoms in the total amount of atoms. So by decreasing the size of the material or dimension of the material, then huge number of atoms come to the surface, then interatomic distance is decreased. By decreasing the material size or dimension into nanoscale range, then interatomic distance is decreased. Next, melting point is decreased. Here we can consider we are taking copper metal, size in diameter is taken along x direction, the interatomic distance is taken along y direction. Then by decreasing the size in diameter of the metal, copper metal, then the interatomic distance is decreased and decreased. So next, the size in diameter is taken along x direction, melting point is taken or melting temperature is taken along y direction. By decreasing the grain size in nanoscale range, then the melting point is decreased. So in bulk material, if the grain size of the material is above 100 nanometer, the melting point is same. But if we decrease the grain size into nanoscale range, 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer range, then the melting point is decreased. So gold material can melt at room temperature also by decreasing the grain size into nanoscale range. Next, optical properties. Optical properties are finely tuned with size. So by changing the grain size in nanoscale range, then we can change the optical properties. Absorption wavelengths and emission wavelengths can be changed by changing the grain size at a different size in nanoscale range. The optical absorption peak of a semiconductor nanoparticle shifts to short wavelength due to an increased band gap. So by decreasing the nanoparticles size, then absorption peak is shifted in shorter wavelength side and energy gap is increased. So for example, if you take gold material, so already you know that bulk gold material in macro size gold material is a shiny yellow metal that is appeared in yellow color. If you decrease the grain size of the gold in nanoscale range, so gold nanoparticles of size 100 nanometer, that is appeared in orange color. Same gold nanoparticles of size 50 nanometer, then that gold nanoparticles are appeared in green color. Like that, by changing the grain size, the color of the material is also changed. So absorption wavelength is shifted in lower side. So here the wavelength is taken along x direction, absorbance is taken along y direction. So if the nanoparticle size is decreased in nanoscale range is decreased, then the absorption peak is decreased or shift in lower wavelength side. Absorption peak shift in lower wavelength side. So next, magnetic properties. The strength of the magnet is measured in terms of coercivity and retentivity. We discussed it in magnetic materials chapter. So these are dependent on size. So by decreasing the grain size of the material in nanoscale range, then the magnetic properties will be changed. Small particles are more magnetic than bulk material. So some paramagnetic materials can be converting into ferromagnetic material. Some diamagnetic materials are converting into paramagnetic material by decreasing the grain size into nanoscale range. So non-magnetic solids are found to be magnetic in nano range. So for example, sodium, potassium, these are the paramagnetic material in bulk size. If we decrease the grain size into nanoscale range, then these same materials are converting into ferromagnetic material. Like iron, cobalt, nickel, these are ferromagnetic materials in bulk size. If we decrease the grain size into nanoscale range, these are converting into super paramagnetic materials. So similarly, you can discuss gadolinium is ferromagnetic in bulk size. By decreasing the grain size into nanoscale range, these are converting into super paramagnetic material. like chromium, ruthenium,